Hey everyone, welcome back to our second update video after 6 or 7 months.
Only our
Uh,
second update video.
yeah,
That can't be
it's
right.
been quite a while, and we apologize for that, but you'll see this is definitely worth the wait. I
Well,
think, at
we hope
least.
so,
Yeah,
because quite a lot's been done, and a lot of it may seem like, well, doesn't seem like too much, but considering it's 4-1, and that we've done things, and then we've redone
yeah,
them when we found new information, or redid them when we got better at just building things, as we'll explain here in a second with why we're at the bow. Um, Seems about right that
yeah.
it's taken this long. And we wouldn't want to be like showing you like, hey, look, one thing that took like a month to do, because that would like be boring. So
Yeah. So, getting right into it,
might be
you
wondering
see we're
why
at the
we
bow.
are, yeah, starting at the bow. And I know in the last video we mentioned that we'd be starting from the stern once we got that done. But actually, in the process of making the stern, we'd gotten so much better at hull building that our bow at the time just wasn't up to standard with the stern that we had created. So we decided to go
So
back
we pretty much
and renovate it.
ripped the entire, we ripped pretty much the entire red part off and rebuilt that,
Yeah, I mean, if you can imagine
essentially.
from the very front to the very back, from the red portion, and then once you get to the back, a little above that, and then like the last 3 to 4 lines completely redone because of all the changes that had like made their way back through and like accumulated
Yeah.
all the way to the back. It was quite a bit of work just to get that done. But
It
we
wasn't that
hope,
bad. Like once we had the method and we knew what to do, it was
yeah.
actually pretty quick. But it was just discovering that method that was,
Well, in the process of making the stern, that
yeah,
we knew we wanted to go back and change it. But now the results look so much better, and the bow and the hull as a whole looks so much better than if we had have went back
yeah, definitely.
and improved it.
So
So
why don't we
let's
make our
make our way
way?
back. But on the way, just show off the kind of like little prototyping we've done, just kind of give us an idea of like what our ship is going to look like when it's done.
Hmm.
We have like a little bit of the bridge, the wheelhouse, and such at the front.
We've done somewhat of the interiors, a lot of prototyping on the inside, as you can see,
Hmm.
potentially. I'm not sure if ZBLDS is showing you that, but all the
Yeah,
boiler casings are all,
a lot of the foundation work, and a lot of that's thanks to Pepsi and Mr. D, who are now finally, now that the hull is complete, able to get in there
working
and start
on.
working on tank top and really fleshing out the inside.
Yeah.
They've done a lot of great work, and we'll show you some of it here once we finish showing you what I know we really want to show off, because it turned out a lot better. Like when we were building it, I was not sure how this was going to turn out,
Oh
but
yeah,
it,
I was scared that we would be taking like way longer just to make this look right, and we'd be like trial and error this whole thing. But no, it actually came together way better than I think any of us could have ever predicted.
yeah, like with the propeller shafts and just the stern as a whole, like the way it goes from kind of the concave to the vertical, like with the lines. It worked out really well, and I'm really
Yeah,
proud of how it turned out.
yeah. One of the probably the trickiest part, I I would think would probably be the very fine, like the very last section from bulkhead. Actually, no, most are just bulkhead like P back, just because it was a transition. We can't just, unlike this bow where we could use all like the vertical lines, you can't use it anymore because of just the shape. We have to. It's a transition from vertical to horizontal, and making that transition look smooth and not kind of sudden, which was
Hmm.
the trickiest part, I think. But after kind of working at it, building a general shape, and almost, if you can imagine, kind of like sculpting, kind of is a good way of describing it. I think kind of sculpting the blocks, smoothing it out. Uh, I think you can see the results. And
Yeah.
I know,
And definitely
like I said,
first
we're pretty
pass.
proud of
Like
it.
once we got all the lines in and we filled it in, it wasn't exactly this, but it was pretty close to this, and it was only some minor edits here and there with the back lines, and then the stern, like the very end of the stern here, to get it to have that more kind of plated effect. It turned out
Yeah.
the way I was hoping it would, but I wasn't sure if it was going to turn out that way. And
But
then
it did.
yeah, and then the next step was to put on the propeller shafts and kind of like the
That was kind of tricky, though. I remember trying to.
yeah. I mean, I remember these got done pretty quick though, because I remember once I
They did.
finally finished the stern, I'm like, this has got to get done. And so I spent like the next day and a half just like
I remember that.
doing the planning I needed and then just building it.
Yeah, I remember joining in. Like you had most of it done. I'm like, oh wow. And then we just kind of finished it up in the next like 2 days. So
Hmm.
I'm glad we got that
And
finished.
I did the inside because in 4 to 1, there's quite a bit of extra detail you need to add
Oh
in
yeah.
to make sure
If you guys want it, you could.
everything's.
This Yeah, this thing is not hollow on the inside. There is actual supports and structure inside there. If you feel like going in there,
Hmm.
when this is released, obviously.
No, just check
Anyway,
that out. I guess now
so
it's only up to checking out some of the work Pepsi and Mr. D have done, so we will see you there. Alright, welcome back everyone, and we are here, still on the outside of the ship, but that's where the current build process is for the boiler rooms. We've taken them
yes,
out, and now we are working on renovating, yes, even more, on the inside of the ship.
thanks to Pepsi. Look, Pepsi's found like tons and tons of new information about this. So
I
renovating
think
the double
it's
bottom
practically
down
been every
there.
day where he'll find something new, and like, that's been awesome, because
Oh yeah,
definitely a lot of things that we either thought were one way or had no idea about. A lot of more accurate information has come to light thanks to him. And then obviously him and Mr. D putting that information to good use and applying it here on
hmm
our Minecraft Titanic. So you can kind of
so
see like
yeah, as you can
the
see here in
glass.
oh yeah, down the glass there. It obviously will not be glass or
No,
diamond there. It will be changed.
but that's just
But
remnants of fixing the double bottom. But yeah, go on and explain what we have here.
okay, well, right here we have, well, kind of, I guess, testing and prototyping of the details you want to add to the boiler rooms, because, we don't want to just make this a blank boiler room. We want to have a little more life into the ship, and as if, people were or slash are working here. So we have, piles of coal, shovels, and some wheelbarrows, like, overturned, just leaning up against the wall to kind of show that there were and are people working here. That's kind of what we're trying to go here. Almost, if you can imagine like a diorama, as if we're building this just like people were
Yeah,
on the
like a
ship doing
snapshot of
stuff.
time. Like you
Just
took the ship like as it was in Southampton, and we'll actually go into more into Southampton at the end of
at
this video.
yeah,
But like we want to be adding details like this throughout the ship. Give the ship itself a little bit more life than you've
an empty
seen
ship.
in the past. Gives it a bit more detail, but then also like in the cargo rooms and throughout the ship you'll see like luggage and containers and then things being prepared. Like I know you have some great ideas for the
The kitchen and the
yeah.
galleys. Yeah, definitely trying to put some food in there because they would have been prepping at the time, even that early in the morning. Or it actually depends on. We got to figure out exactly a specific time though, because there might have something that have happened. But that is for later. So
And
continuing on through the boiler rooms, as you can
yeah,
see, they
and
are
there's a lot of interesting things that we've had to think about and are still going to have to be thinking about as we consider tank top ton done, because we're going to be setting the ship at a certain time in Southampton, and that means knowing like things like which boilers were lit and which ones were not, and which ones would have coal like down on the
in front
ground,
of
like
them
where the trimmers and stokers would be working.
at the time. Yeah, so it's definitely a lot more than just putting it in there.
Hmm.
But
Definitely a lot of stuff that we're looking forward to be able to add and
yeah,
demonstrate with our ship.
yeah, definitely.
So that's the boiler rooms, and I guess we should do a little sneak peek of the engine rooms, the reciprocating end turbine.
Sure, sounds good. So we've Pepsi Mr. D have actually kind of inserted them mostly into the ship itself. We're in the
And they are
turbine.
looking so good.
Oh yeah, I mean they're looking great. There's obviously no floor yet. Like or there's no well, there's a floor, but it's not the actual floor that needs to be installed.
Nope, it's
Yeah,
like
but
the double bottoms underfloor because a lot
yeah,
of pipes and not as many here yet, but when we get into the reciprocating engine room,
yeah, there's
there's
gonna
a
be some.
lot of stuff going everywhere, and it's pretty complicated.
Oh yeah, like it's
Every time
really
I
really.
every time I check it out, it impresses me the work that they're doing.
Oh yeah, I mean just you can see like all the like pipes and supports and just catwalks especially. There's so many and it's so complex if you don't know what you're doing. So I mean, really, they're doing
We are
such a
thankful that
fantastic job.
they happen to know what they are doing.
Yeah. Well, let's see what else we're gonna. Anything else we're gonna show, or is that pretty much it?
The last thing I definitely want to show off is we should talk about the
Oh, right.
Southampton. So,
Yes.
right now I'll put up a picture of, I guess, all of Southampton at the moment, and you can kind of see the diamond outline where the ship is. You can see kind of towards the left where our
You
workstation
can see
is.
this. You can probably, if you can imagine the scale of this, like, because you probably see like the ship in there, and the ship is you think the ship is massive? Southampton is,
It's quite
well,
large, and the
it
area
is
we're
quite
working
large.
on is actually really only the ocean dock area, and then the surrounding area, just so when you're on the ship and you see the surrounding areas, it's not blank. But that's really taking the diorama idea to its kind of finale, like how we want it to end up, and kind of the scale of the project that we're working on.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
impressed
definitely gonna.
just by like what we got ourselves into. But then
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, I'm a little intimidated by like the size of Southampton, but I feel like once we get Titanic done, I feel like Southampton won't be like that difficult because it's. I mean, we don't need to go as crazy detailed because I mean, uh, like for the other buildings, we can just kind of do facades. Most like for the far off buildings, we can just do facades and stuff, and the other ships, we don't need to do interior like this. But I think definitely,
But definitely a
uh,
lot of buildings closer to Titanic and ones that we have information on, like
oh, of course,
the warehouses
passenger
close by.
sheds,
Yeah, we'll be adding the interiors as they were, and then having the railroad tracks and the trains and such. That
right?
anything you'd want to be able to like, go inside and check out, you'll be able to do that inside and outside the ship.
Yeah,
Bring kind of the time period to life, and not including the ship, because you don't want the ship just kind of on its own. You want to put it in the time
yeah,
period, the era that you associate it, and then where it kind of belongs.
of course.
But
Okay.
that's pretty much it for this video. I know very soon we'll have the Meet the Team video out. In fact, that should be coming quite soon, actually. I only have to do a little bit of editing here and there, and you'll get that up and see all the team members, our team that's been working on this. I mean, it's not just Mr. D, Pepsi, me, and Matt.
There's a
There's a
couple other
lot of a
people
lot
in
of
there.
other people that I know are eager to help in specialized areas like the X tier. We got Tom, and then we have a lot of support builders that have been working on a lot of pre-planning for things like the first class dining saloon. A lot of really
Mhm.
impressive stuff that we'll be showing you guys in the near future. So thanks for checking out this video, and
Yep.
we will see you when we have more to show.